Hello everyone, welcome to this episode of Bash Commands. So in the earlier episode we saw the introduction, how to use different tools to log into our remote Unix-like system from Windows computer. So you can also use all these tools or that SSH command on any other Unix-like system and log into your remote Unix-like system. Okay, but in case you are using any Unix like system, then you can definitely directly type in the command. You don't need to use any remote computer for demonstrating these commands. Okay, so now we are going to get started with the very basic commands, and we are going to understand the concept of shell, because I have been talking about shell for quite a while, and you must be asking yourself or me a question: what this bloody shell is, not the hell is. It's like S and hell, and it becomes shell. But it is definitely not hell. And in my personal opinion, it is heaven, because it actually gives you unprecedented amount of power to do anything with your Unix like system. Okay, so in case you are a seasoned programmer, you will understand the value of shell. So many people are comfortable with graphical user interface tools, but shell gives you the finer control of the system. Okay, so if you are a true geek or a true technical person, then you will always stick to shell. So that is why shell is such an important part of any programmer's life. So let us try to understand what a shell is. So we will try to understand the dictionary meaning of shell. We know that there is an animal, or there is a life form known as turtle, and we also have their cousins Tortoise, right? Tortoises. And we also have something like terrapin. So these are all biological beings, right? So you may be asking me a question, why I am mentioning turtles, tortoises, or terrapins. It is because they have something known as shell. Okay, now the function of this shell is to protect the very fragile parts of the body of these amphibians. Okay, so I guess only turtles are amphibians, true amphibians, but tortoises dwell on land, and terrapins are also amphibians, but they actually also belong to the same family. So the point is that they have got very, very fragile internal bodies, and the shell is used to protect these fragile parts of their bodies. Okay, and in case we want to hold a turtle or tortoise, we just need to have a grip on their shell, and then we can lift them and we can toss them around. Don't toss them around, it is cruel, but we can lift them, we can transport them using their shell. Okay, and whenever they sense any sort of danger, they will just go ahead and hide in their shell. Okay, and the predator or the person who is intending some sort of harm to these animals, that person or that predator will think that it is an empty shell, but actually that turtle, tortoise, or terrapin is inside that shell. Okay, so this is what the utility of the biological shell is. And there are also many sea dwelling creatures or aquatic creatures, they have actually a very hard shell. It is made of calcium. Okay, so that shell also protects the internal parts or internal fragile body parts of, or that particular fragile being. Okay, and I think that there are many people who check for the shells, and they actually consume the animals in the shell. They are rich in protein, so that is why there are even natural predators, they are looking for their meal, and these shells actually protect the animals. So the point of this entire discussion is that shell is something that protects the system. So similarly, that entire analogy has been replicated in the computer systems. The biological analogy has been replicated in the computers. So this is very cool. So there are many concepts in computer science or mathematics which are nothing but the abstraction of our real life things, just like the inheritance in the object oriented programming. So every daughter or every son inherits something from their parents. Okay, so either it could be intellectual, or it could be some sort of biological trait, your look, your face. And even if you are adopted, your parents will always try to give you their values and their physical properties or possessions. Okay, so that inheritance trait is replicated in the object oriented programming. Okay, heredity and inheritance. So similarly, we have here something known as operating system, and it could be any operating system. It could be Windows, Linux, Unix. So this is general idea of shell. And then we have something like a shell. Okay, so that shell is used to interact with that operating system. Okay, so I am just trying to actually make some sort of arrow symbol, and let us see how it works. Operating system, and then we have shell. We know that operating system is a very technical part and it is very fragile. You can't actually directly interact with the programs. You shouldn't actually directly interact with the operating system programs on your own. So that is why we have shell. And who interacts with the shell? We interact with the shell. We are the users and we provide the command to the shell. Actually, these things are bidirectional arrows, but it is not actually possible for me to type in because there is no character corresponding to the down arrow in the keyboard or in the ASCII character set. That is why I am just actually skipping that down arrow part. Okay, but these arrows are bidirectional. So operating system and shell interact with each other, and finally shell and the normal user, they interact with each other. So user sends a command to shell and shell will check for a program in the operating system corresponding to that command, and that program will be executed and it will return the output to the shell, and user will see that output on the shell and he can actually further use that output for his own purpose. So this is how the entire shell related stuff works in all the operating systems. Now there are two types of shells. The first shell is graphical shell, and then another shell is command line interface, CLI. Okay, command line interface, and graphical shell is also known as GUI. So we are going to have a look at CLI in this entire series of episodes of the mega course of bash commands. Okay, and even in CLI there are multiple types of shells. So let us try to understand how many types of shells can there be. Okay, so the most famous is simply shell. Okay, so it is shell. So this is a simple program and it is also abbreviated as SH. Then we have born again. The spelling may be wrong. I don't take the guarantee of that. Shell. Okay, it is BASH. Then we have corn shell. It is KSH. We also have CSH, C shell. So you can use C like syntax for writing the shell programs. That is why it is known as C shell. Then we also have TCSH, which is the advanced type of C shell. Then again there is dash. Okay, it is an interactive shell, and we also have fish, which is also like some sort of interactive shell. So there are many shell programs. You can also write your own program in C or Python program to run the commands of the operating system, and it will become your own shell. But these projects are very old and they have like thousands and hundreds of thousands of lines of code in them, and they are very good programs, and I think that these are all open source projects. But we are actually not going to get into the technicalities of these programs. We are just going to understand how to run the Unix like operating systems commands. So now I am actually just explaining you this with Notepad. You must be asking, is there any way we can see all these things in system? And yes, there is a way. So I'm just going to run the command clear and it will clear. It was already clear. And I'm going to type in the command echo and dollar. So type in the dollar symbol. So you will have to use the shift key and the 4 key on your keyboard and type in shell, all capital. So one thing I forgot to tell you, that these things are case sensitive. So be careful. So if you type in something like, it won't actually give you any output. But if you say SHELL, then it is going to return the current shell in which you are logged into. So it is a bash shell. And there is a way you can see the list of all the shells installed on this particular system. So that list can be found at cat etc and shells, SHELLS, And if I hit enter, it will show me the list of all the shells that are installed on this particular system. So ZSH is there, MKSH is there, Dash is there, RBash, Bash, and SH is there. So these are all the shells installed on this particular system. Okay. So now I'm going to clear the screen. And this is all about the shells and various shells available on Raspberry Pi. So all these shells are not default shells. I have taken the liberty to install a few shells to practice myself and to prepare for the other video episodes. So in case you want to see all the other episodes on all the other shells, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. So this was all about the shells, and this was only an introduction session. So in the next session, we are going to see a few commands, a few useful utilities. Okay, so thanks a lot for watching this episode. Do let me know if you have any questions or queries in the comment section down below. Thanks a lot once again, and I will see you next time.